Thank you. And we honor our country with a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, would you?
Yes. Lord, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for this opportunity to serve those who are less fortunate than we. We thank you for the Rotary motto of service above self. And Father, we ask you this morning just to think about those who lost loved ones in 9/11 and comfort their hearts this morning. And we just thank you, Lord, for allowing us to do what it is we do. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Mr. Honeycutt. All right, good. Good morning, Rotarians. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, several items. Just quickly. Steve Hunt, stand up, please. Now, we were supposed to dress this morning. So now wait a minute. All right, something Rotary because pictures are being made. But I tell you what, he set the standard. So all of us, look at this. Congratulations. Now, we can wear a coat and tie with Steve Hunt. All right, the issue is we do have some Rotarians. Now, there's two things. We have new members that do not have a shirt or anything. And our secretary, well, I'll pass Roger on this one. Bob, what can we do to handle this? First of all, you pay $1 fine because that was not announced earlier. Okay.
What I had suggested we would do is for those members who want to get, we had Kenny's sister-in-law embroider the shirts that say Rotary Club of the Year for 2 or 3 years. I forget exactly how it's worded. She can do that again, and we should go ahead and find out who wants to pick up shirts, and we'll contract with her to go ahead and make those.
Okay.
I forget what they were, 10.50 or 13, I can't remember. It
But
wasn't
anyway,
bad.
that we're not dressed appropriately for pictures for the new members, and I apologize to that. Rick, did we make that announcement?
Pictures?
Yes.
It was in my message.
Yeah, but what about our new members? Did we make any allowances for that because they do not have T-shirts?
No, but that's okay. They'll look pretty anyway.
Okay.
All we asked was that they wear their pin. That was
Okay, all right, I need $1 from each of you, please. That announcement should have been made, so please, $1. While we're doing that,
I'll tell you, you never know when it's starting.
That's right.
Sound like somebody else needs to be fighting.
she's already got
I
one.
got fined.
Okay.
She's got one. We're just starting right now. Couple items. All right, get it covered. Now, here's the important, okay. Those that do not have, that are Rotary old timers in here, did not wear anything dealing with Rotary for pictures. I need $1. Tiger, I need $1 from you. All right, Regina, I need $1 from you.
It's gonna be a bonus week.
I want $1 because you called me by the wrong name.
Well,
Oh, yeah, my name is not Regina.
Hey, Jan, that he puts his dollar in the Alzheimer's bucket.
Joe?
Dr. Regina.
I don't have any of them yet.
Okay, Rick, you want to pay, he's
Patriot
responsible.
Day.
Why?
Wait, I wore.
He's been here 23 years. I'm still paying for it.
Well, then tell John to cut that off.
I wore my with the American flag on it. It was worth the $1 for that.
Yes, it's concealed, but you shouldn't have worn it. That's the last one. All right, we got all this settled. Okay, Roger, your sponsor.
Alzheimer bucket.
Okay,
Not
well,
Regina.
just wait a second. Roger,
That's Dr.
your sponsor.
Yes,
Were you aware of all this too about the dress?
I was. I got my pin on here. My
Okay,
shirt.
and you are basically a
Pretty
new
up.
member that has not received a T-shirt or anything, is that correct?
I received a welcome packet, not a T-shirt.
Okay, that's good, you're excused. All right, everyone else. All right, I think we got it covered. All right, Regina, this is good news. Okay, would you give us a report about the money?
So I wrote the change from the cup last week.
Yes.
And we had $25. We did take some from these buckets and what I had in my cup.
That is fantastic. And the thing is, now look, we didn't have to count the change
Thank you.
And all of the cup was full of change. I said, oh no, please. But anyway, Regina took it to the bank, everything, and look, she has hard currency, not coins. That is great. I'll pay a fine to tell you, I really appreciate that. Glenn, you need to pay one too,
I
because we
appreciate it.
both
And
appreciate it.
it's American money.
Yeah, that
Not lira, not pesos, not, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, and also the 9/11, thank you for mentioning the flags. You came in this way. Very, very impressive. And one other item about, if you will, sickness.
Richard Tucker's at the beach, and he got a call from his brother that he needed to come. He wasn't doing so well. And both Glenn and I we don't have much information, but the news is grim. So we'll just keep them in our prayers this week. And they'll be home, supposed to be home Thursday, so we'll get a full report. I'm going to try to get a report and an update today, but you know, he's been through several surgeries, and he's lost his stomach to cancer and a couple other things. So it's, I don't think it's very good news. We hope for the best, and we pray for a miracle, and we just are waiting to hear.
Okay. And also good news, Glenn is looking after the turkey and what else?
The chicken.
The chickens while he's there,
Bees.
so that's good. Good deal.
Jake's at daycare.
Did you get your dollar from Steiger?
I did.
For not wearing,
It's all rolled up.
He's already rolled it up.
Thanks for checking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Yes, sir. We're covered.
No love in this room.
All right, that's all I have now. I've got other things, but I'll hold that.
Okay, today's a club assembly, and I've got a number of things to go over. First of all, when Jenny came in, it reminded me of
My greatness, thank you.
that, and besides that, a start time for us.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And my thinking is, and Wayne is sort of the guard, he's looking out, that if people go to the cafeteria to get breakfast, it will give them time to eat and talk, and we'll start the meeting right at 7:15. If he signals to me that nobody's eating, then we'll start, all right? Sometime between 7 and 7:05, something like that.
That's right.
Is that fair enough, everybody?
Yes.
All right, now, I want to talk about the Oktoberfest volunteering, I want to talk about the dance, and a couple other things. Ryan, you, if we have time, we'll talk about the project that you want to do too. Bob will give you a few seconds to talk about next week, and Glenn has the budget information for us. I want to talk about Oktoberfest first. Now, I'm going to pass something around. Every one of you may take it, but this is primarily for those of you who say you want to help during that time, okay? So, I'll stay with hey, this one here.
Sierra Nevada has a really good beer, Oktoberfest.
Try it.
Top.
Just go all the way around that way then. If you're planning on helping, take this sheet, it'll come around. And if you don't want to help, but you want to know what's going on, take one too. And what I want to do is quickly go over this, and if you have any questions, those of you who are helping, I have another handout about training that you have to have in order to volunteer. Walter, Regina, and I met yesterday with members of the other Rotary clubs, Julie Owens and Amy Ogle, the Hickory Downtown Development Association. They gave us this information.
Where does sunshine go?
And so you see the very first item is that the Downtown Association is going to donate $12,000 total among the three clubs, right? And it will break down basically on how many hours we put in per club, all right? And that's in number 2 there. If there are 100 labor hours associated with Oktoberfest and our club worked 40 hours, Lake Hickory 20, and the other club 40, then you're dividing 100 hours by 12,000 is $120 an hour, therefore we get 120 times the 40 or $4,800. So that's how they're figuring it, and we will have spreadsheets, and you just sign up for whatever time that you want to work. That'll be verified once you get there, your name will be checked off, and the downtown association will then tabulate how many hours each club has done and subsequently send us a check, or that'll be some income for us. Next bullet, there will be volunteer opportunities for doing two things. You can either serve the alcohol, or you can check the IDs of people. And most people, they'll show you their ID, as long as it's okay. They'll give you $5, you give them a token. All right? We'll talk about more in a minute, but those are the two major responsibilities that we have. Cash will be the only thing we will accept. Every Rotary volunteer must complete the North Carolina Responsible Alcohol Server Program online training course. A certificate is awarded upon completion of the course. The printed training certificate must be presented to the Executive Director no later than October the 8th. The second handout I have has some information about that online thing I'll get to in a minute. It is not difficult. Here's my certificate. It took me between 10 and 15 minutes last night to do it. And you fill out, my name's on it. And once you put your name in as an email address and so on and so forth, they'll generate that.
How would we get it to Amy Ogle?
Well, I'll take care of that.
And what's the address we go to?
It's on a handout, I'll get it to you. There are 3 locations where it will be served. Beer will be served: pavilion, main stage, and a bourbon tasting tent. That sounds interesting. That's only open on Saturday. We stop serving at 10:30 in the main stage and pavilion areas. Tokens are pink. That's important for those of you who are working, because JCs used to do this. And they would tell folks, if you didn't use all your tokens, save them, use them next year. Well, we will not honor any JC tokens. JCs are no longer in charge of it. Many of you read the article in the paper. That article came out after the JCs and the Downtown Association did not agree on contract stipulations. JCs then pulled out of it. The JC president wanted their HDR to write an article on it. Unbeknownst to her, fraud charges were being drawn up at about the same time, and so things were added to the article. And so we were assured yesterday, the agent now, the business now, Downtown Development Association, and all we are volunteers. And I'll answer any more questions regarding that if you have some. The tokens are pink. The main stage volunteers should report to the main stage area 15 minutes. Anybody working should report 15 minutes before the time that you sign up for. You'll be having an identifying vest. And Ron, I asked them what color they were going to be, and they said lime green. So that's what they're going to be, lime green. You'll be given it when you check it on your shift. Griffith Security will take care of picking up money and all of those things. On the back, you have a couple more. They also will be providing any needed change. You're not supposed to leave your station until your replacement has arrived. Director Ogle will contact all volunteers, and there'll be a remind message so everybody will remember. And we have, according to Julie, 425 slotted hours to fill. It's Friday. Okay, the time.
Friday 5 to 11, Saturday 11 to 11, and then Sunday 12 to 5.
All right, Saturday and Sunday we can work. Friday is our dance. So we won't be able to put in any hours there. And I told the folks last night, the other two Rotary clubs, that we could not be there that night, but we will fill as many slots as we can the next 2 days. I also gave the presidents of the other clubs a copy of our, I didn't give them a ticket, but I gave them a copy of the ticket, so they could share with their clubs, and a few people expressed an interest in attending a dance too. So, all right, now the second page is a little bit more about the how to get. Again, if you're working, take one of these, please.
Is it only Rotary members that can do this, or can
Yes.
spouses do it too?
They didn't mention anything like that. I guess anybody who would do that obviously has to go through the online training,
Right.
but I can check with her.
I think one thing about that though too is that because we're dealing with cash, it's basically on an honorary system, so they're leaving it up to Rotary leadership of who they put in that's gonna be handling cash, because it's basically up to us to ensure that it's right. It's what they said yesterday.
And each club has been asked to have a volunteer coordinator. So if anybody's interested in being the coordinator, that's the person who hangs around, is not necessarily serving, but is Jim.
Nice shot.
Who goes around and says, I need more change, I need this, I need that. The coordinator helps our members out with that kind of thing. All right, you take a look at this sheet now. I put the online address for those of you who want the training. At the end of the online session, a certificate will be issued that must be printed out. And here's what you do. When you get to the home page, you scroll to applying for certification as a server, because there are a couple other things you can do as far as getting concert certification. You want to be someone who's a server. You'll be asked to choose then a currently licensed business or other, choose other. When that page comes up, then you'll be asked to fill out what business it is, and you just simply type in Hickory Downtown Development Association. The address is 24 First Avenue Northeast. They ask for the city, they don't ask for the state, they don't ask for the area, zip code rather. They just simply ask for the city, and then they want a phone number associated with the business, and that's the phone number. You'll be asked for an email and a password. And just your email, you put in the password, whatever you want to be. Make it very simple. You may never ever go back to that page anyway. Once that's approved, you'll be directed back to the home page, where you will then log in with that email address and password. And then once you log in, you have pages of information, very, very simple things. They highlight some things as you're going through, and then about a third of the way through, they give you a little pop quiz, and it's just for your benefit. They tell you, yes, you got them all right, and no, you missed one. I missed two. And I was going to give alcohol to somebody who showed me an ID, and I read the thing. And I did not know until I read that if you're under 21, ID is vertical. And you're supposed to look at the picture on the ID and the face of the person. Well, the test showed me somebody with a woman with dark hair, but the face on the license plate was a woman with blonde hair. I didn't look at the two. And I didn't look at the vertical. All I looked at was the date of birth, and she turned 21 in August. I figured, it's a trick question. And I missed it because it wasn't the same person at all. So be careful, don't try to go through it too quickly. But again, then you have some more, and then they ask you some more questions, and once they're satisfied that you have it, then they give you the test, which is only 10 questions. And I got all those right, and once you get it right, then you just click print for the certificate, and your name comes out on it just the way behind you. But anybody who is working, who plans to work, has to take this thing.
And you have to bring that certificate.
Bring that certificate, or you can give the certificate to me, either one. I'll make sure that every one of our folks who plans to volunteer, is obviously the more hours we can volunteer, the better for us as far as getting income. Now, what questions do you have about that?
If the other clubs don't serve, can we earn all the money?
Yeah. The Hickory Club was meeting this afternoon, their executive committee was meeting to, I guess, formalize it. They seemed to indicate that they would do it.
How do we coordinate with them as to who's going to be where, when, or?
Amy Ogle, who's the executive director, will send out a spreadsheet. And it's on Google Docs, which makes it live, which means when I put my name in at 7 o'clock Saturday morning, if somebody from Lake Hickory, Bill Lohr, had 7 o'clock also, I'll see that. And it's okay. I mean, they may say, okay, we've had enough, build up something, but you'll see it once you plug in. And just as many hours as you think you can work.
And I believe the slots are like in 2-hour increments.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So you could sign up for like 6 to 8 or then 8 to 10. If you do the last one though, it's, they quit serving alcohol at 10:30. It doesn't close till 11, so like the last 30 minutes is to get everything wrapped up.
It would be nice to have us all working together as much as possible, I guess. But I suspect, I mean, the Oompa tent is where I want to be, but I suspect that might be the most popular for everybody. I don't want it all that loud.
The spreadsheet will be sent to me, and I'll send it out to those of you who are planning to help. And what I'm going to do to make it easy on myself, I'm going to send it out to the club rather than have a separate listserv for those of you who are volunteering. And if you're not working, just ignore it, no problem. Anything else? Any other questions?
I will be the volunteer coordinator if you want me to. That's important because if you sign up, something happens, you can't make it, you're sick, somebody's sick, whatever, then let your volunteer coordinator know so they can get someone to cover your shift and kind of have a backup plan.
Perfect. Thank you, Regina. Appreciate that. And we'll get all the certificates to you
Yeah.
as well.
And I'll turn them in.
That's perfect. Thank you very, very much for that. All right, the next item on my agenda is I had pictures, but that's coming up. So the dance. I have tickets. So if anybody wants tickets, I have them here. They are numbered. I will keep track of who gets what and how many you get based on the number. We have 300. We need to sell them. So if anybody wants them before you leave today, after you get your picture taken or whatever, come and get tickets, and I will keep track of who gets what. Okay. We have the venue. We've got the band. Remind me what we talk. Oh, we're doing barbecue or ham or something. We're doing the cooking. Okay. So that's covered. Anything else we need to think about about the dance?
I put it up on the website so you can direct people to hickorysunrise.org. And actually, I sent an email to Kenny because the poster doesn't mention any way to get any more information on it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure that he got it. I was having some email from him, so he never responded, which makes me think he didn't get it.
Probably not. And here are the posters. Does anybody have a business or someplace you can put a poster? Okay. Thank you, Regina.
Rick, are we doing security? I need to set that up a little bit better.
What would we do? What have we done in the past?
$300 for the night.
I know.
What do you want to hold?
Can't get my nose anymore.
I can give you
I'll
those.
be here.
No.
I'm surprised you didn't, yes, we have the same discussion.
You still sworn officer.
No, not
They're not being anywhere. You know, there's numbers to call, but people are much more likely, I think, to go to the website.
Yes.
Definitely.
And we need somebody to contact somebody for security.
Okay.
I'll do it, I'll take care of it.
Got it. Thank you, Steve.
What's the hours? 6 to
the dance is what, 7 to 11, so 6:30 to 11?
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
Do we still need auction items?
Well, we do. Phil is collecting those information. If you know what you're gonna have, just send it to Phil. Phil's doing a spreadsheet on what we're getting. Nancy Toy has gotten a couple things, and she sent that information to Phil. So as you get things for silent auction, we'll let Phil know. So we'll have the silent auction, we may make a couple bucks off that. We'll have the 50/50. We have some sponsors that have already sent checks in and money to help us, and we have the tickets. So if we do that, we'll be okay. And then we will have a big discussion as to whether to keep doing the dance. But I like the idea of a fall costume ball. You know, it doesn't necessarily associate with any particular date or holiday, and it gives us some flexibility as when we can do it. Okay. All right. Anything else I need to think about the dance? If you think of something, holler at me, please.
No stage.
No stage.
Stage.
No stage.
No stage.
Yeah, no stage.
How are we handling the food? I'm sure you said it and I wasn't listening.
We're cooking it ourselves.
Okay, but there's still sides.
Yeah, Austin has agreed to open up the soup kitchen for us,
To cook? Okay.
and to pull and to, well, we've done it in the past.
Yeah, and what about, and Rhino's question is the size, like slog, whatever, we got that covered?
I think Richard's got that all
Okay.
covered.
Excellent.
Yeah, he was gonna see if John could handle it, but I didn't ever hear back what he found out.
What about setup time? You know, since it's on a Friday rather than a Saturday, we usually Saturday morning we'll set
We
up.
probably need to,
What about setup?
all right, set up time, Joe asked the set up time, Bob.
The pulling of the pork, the cooking of the pork presents a problem because our dance is on Friday night, which means people are gonna have to take the entire day off Friday to cook. Richard says it takes what, 12 hours? So we need to talk to Richard and see if he'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah, and
I'll talk
if
with
that's
him.
a major problem, we'll punt and we'll do something else.
Correct.
When you say to cook, I mean, it's the cooling that's.
Well, he's cooking in his backyard, so,
Cooking takes forever.
Yeah,
But what can you do when?
well, he's gotta stay up all night and watch it every couple hours because if the
Oh.
temp drops or gets too
You know,
high, it will come out.
With his situation, what are we gonna do to backstop him if he's called away on family business?
Steve's done the last couple with Western Steer. They've done a great job. Of course, that was $7, $9 a person.
I don't remember.
I mean, I could.
Let's take it one step at a time. Let's see what Richard does first, and then we can get our heads together about something we can do.
Sure.
Could we set up Thursday night? Would that be a possibility since we're cooking on Friday? Would it be possible to set up Thursday night or do they have an event?
At the mill,
Yeah.
I could check. I know we need to be out. No, Friday night. We may still need to be out for Saturday morning. Usually there's a church that meets on Sunday morning. Let me answer those questions when Richard gets back. I'm afraid to have Richard commit to anything at this point.
Well, I agree. And we need to be thinking about a backup plan. I mean, McDonald's delivers now.
Whatever it is. Grubhub.
Anything else regarding the dance?
Bob and I-
Ryan, you have a suggestion for a service project for us.
Yes, this is just for consideration. The Partnership for Children, you may have seen, there was a, down here at the sidewalk area. Down here at the sidewalk area, there was a, I think it's still there, a little, it almost looked like a,
Little house.
little house, yeah, and there was books in there, and community members can come and get books, and then they can put them back, and that is just a way to promote literacy and share books. So the Partnership for Children is trying to raise funds to be able to put those little libraries throughout our community for children. And my understanding, if you're familiar maybe with little kids, right now through the Imagination Library, kids that are pre-K, so all the way up to kindergarten age, can get free books. They just have to sign up and they're delivered once a month. My own girls have gotten them since they were able to. But
All right,
way to
hold-
just
time out,
okay.
because we need to get the pictures taken, so we'll finish Ryan's comments about it, and I have a little flyer about it, but we need to get the pictures because the photographer has a busy schedule, so let's get the pictures taken. At this point, the budget information is going around, thanks Glenn.
For August. One thing, do we have a field trip next week?
Yes, we do, Steiger will tell us about that, once we get the pictures taken. We need people's attention while this information is being given.
Well, they're doing that, can I offer an aside to Ryan's suggestion? You know, we had, a while back, a printed 1, 2, 3, 4 character building, for kids that came out as part of the Dolly Parton Literacy Project. We ought to buy some of those and put them in the mailboxes for the kids. I'll show you one next week.
There we go.
It's
Ryan,
character.
the thing you need from the club is what?
So for $320, we'll fund one of these little libraries. But the benefit too for us would be you're able to put your organization's name on it. So we could have Hickory Sunrise Rotary Club on the actual box. We also would have recognition in the press release that's done. So our club would be put out there in that manner. And then when they do the unveiling, we would be invited to participate in that as well. So for $320, you can, our club could sponsor one of these libraries. And I think we would have input too on where we wanted it to be placed. And again, my understanding is that the Partnership for Children has extra books, the Imagination Library books, and those would help start the project.
And the books that Ryan was talking about, Dolly Parton stuff.
That's exactly
that
what
too. Jenny, are you still on the finance committee? All right. Would you contact the finance committee and just, and let us know? We're gonna follow protocol. And the request from Ryan is $320 for a little box for the books for the kids.
I would remind the club that that's also one of the key focus areas of Rotary.
Literacy.
Literacy and childhood education.
Very good. Ryan, thank you very much. Tiger. I want to make sure everybody hears, that's my concern.
Okay. So next week is one of our field trips scheduled for this year. It is at Groscha, USA. They're a German company that has a claim to fame that makes very, very thin industrial cutting blades. It is behind Klingsport.
Okay.
Our last field trip is, if everybody knows where the VA clinic is on Tate Boulevard, okay, you turn left to go into the VA clinic. Klingsport's on your right. Groscha is right behind Klingsport. Okay, so we'll meet in the parking lot at 7.
We need to have a good turnout.
Yes.
It's important as a club.
Grascat. Yeah, that's a valid point. Wayne says that we need to have a good turnout to show these business leaders that we are interested in making a difference by sharing their.
Prospective members.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And I think all the field trips we've had have been fantastic. I mean, SARSTED, CBCC.
There's 1 or 2 more coming this year. just need to narrow them down. Rush, they make very, very thin German, they use German steel and make cutting blades, industrial cutting blades, so it's interesting.
Okay.
The world's thinnest cutting blade.
Glasses.
Also, I don't know.
You have to take,
GRO or GRA?
I think it's GRASHE.
they replace the umlaut with an I.
Rick, you'll put that out in that weekly letter that everybody reads.
Be done today.
We need to.
Sorry.
Just take them all, we're gonna see if I can play.
Do you normally wear them or?
Yeah, we're all
Just keep them on.
I can take them off though, I'll have to.
Don't take them
I'm getting it.
One thing we do need to mention about, or make you think about,
Oh, I
for
got it.
Oktoberfest.
Did you take yours
Remember
off?
they said that we
You got it,
could
okay,
do
thanks.
twelve
Visit, you
days.
gotta wait a light.
Get those off your hands.
Sorry?
Get those off your
I
hands.
want everybody on that thing.
It's not spelled that.
The only thing we're missing is a little cold. You know, but we're coming out here.
What about that shine office? How you gonna compensate?
Easy.
They carry
For Russia, it's GRASCH. It's just Bob should be fine for pronunciation.
Oh.
How do you pronounce it?
Russia.
Wonder bra.
pronounce every syllable.
I said Wonder Bra.
You had change, you need to change.
I just wonder if I got Wonder bra.
Okay.
It don't matter, however you want to do it. I mean, if you want, do we have any extra cups left?
Yes, we do.
We can put it, I'll keep an extra one, and as we get enough to roll.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Huh?
That's only about half.
I haven't been anywhere. Bob and I believe we're still good to use Rotary insurance for our dance events like we did before. There'll be no charge. Assuming they'll cover it. They should. That was last time.
What is it that we call, when we get with our?
Somebody needs to think about running the dollar stores in town.
And when I get that
First thing
report
that
back,
goes are blacktail.
I can get those.
Let's go, guys.
Sorry.
Next.
Let's go.
Like the
You
furniture.
need 6 rectangle and 30 round.
Oh,
You know
you're gonna
what?
tell me.
Bob, if you're gonna buy that kind of stuff, you ought to go to Fred's. They're having a liquidation sale.
HSR.
Not an office.
Candy, candy next.
Between the two.
After you.
Rick was gonna put candy down too, like we have before. Candy.
Well, now,
Yes.
they do one, but that's it's much more expensive. So, and again, according to the size of your budget,
I think we do this.
compilation and review.
Oh, you can beat this.
Rhino.
I know, you're up.
You just put up to the nomination.
I'm bringing pennies next week.
Like I said, I'm just glad it's American money. I'm used to seeing
Not all of it.
No, you're right.
See, what's happening there? Gina's gonna help us out.
Fraser, Ryan, American.
I got a bunch of pennies, I'll bring them.
Wayne, that's worse than his out my home in your house.
I know. Dave, look at counterfeit.
How many?
Call that way.
It's
30 tables, they'll be green, they'll be green.
It's one or something.
Yeah.
And then,
Merry-go-round at the mall.
Take you around.
yes.
I don't know, it's just, they'll just make one token. I don't know.
Better make it tactical, just in case. Somebody else will go out and buy a couple $100 worth of candy. They get really hard to find now.
Regina's taking the change.
Okay.
Regina's taking the change.
What are you getting?
Walter?
$12 for food. Okay, $9 for flowers. Okay, that should balance out. You want your best
large problem.
Sure.
They have to verify if they're under 20.
Well, the reason why I was asking is, I think I'm dragging my child. I mean, she's 18.
Yeah, they can be there.
Yeah, my dog is be there when you.
Walter?
Okay, yeah, she's 18. She's,
33.
33?
Yeah. 33 here. You gave her that one. Yeah, that one you gave her.
Yes.
I'll have to wait until she turns it in. I
We all-
Around it for card.
Yeah.
She knows, I mean, all that changes card.
I'm glad.
I'll change that to 33.
That'll be
Double
fine.
count it, 'cause when she-
Just add to it when she brings it.
Exactly, it'll be
Each
card.
one like that.
Yeah, either way, it'll be for cards, but.
I didn't know what it is.
Yeah.
We gotta let this.
Wayne?
Here we go.
who do we need to let?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's good.
Smile there. See you this morning.
Maybe one more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. Uh-oh. Hey, whoa, fellas.
Members want to buy a shirt should make their interest known.
Steve, we need to get attention for Steve with his picture.
Want a voluntold game?
No time, the whole work.
I voluntold you.
All stand and all.
I was inviting you and your wife to do it.
Yes, yes. I didn't get a chance to. I think we're going to.
Okay, great, great.
That's everybody, right? Private group?
Thank you.
Thank our photographer.
Whoa, we missed Michael,
Phil,
Richard,
Ron Leach,
Ron Beach,
Phil Trick.
Donald Hicks,
Phil Trick,
Bill Trick.
Nancy,
Nancy Toy.
I'll circle the ones we didn't get. Marty
About
Bumgarner,
6,
Kenny Klontz,
7.
Dan Green,
I
Donald
don't think that
Hicks.
was
Rick, quick question. Why don't we, since the dance is Friday night, why don't we talked about having some people come in maybe halfway through the dance and staying for cleanup at the end of the dance? And those that have signed up for Saturday, or Friday, or either Friday or Saturday morning Oktoberfest, they'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Not a bad idea.
Because if we all stay, we're gonna be dragging, because it's
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
12:30 before we get out of there.
Good idea. I'll send something out about split shift.
Steve, you look nice.
Thanks, sir.
Look nice.
See,
Nice picture.
Is it true the auditor came last week?
that's how you figure it.
All right.
Steve, thank you for organizing this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Still have a few more folks we need to get.
All this equipment. And now your picture
One of
will be
us will
great.
stand out in our,
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
So we need some.
Rick,
I'm looking forward to it.
walking,
Yeah.
gonna wear the shirts?
I may bring, I may
Gray ones that,
Yeah. I dropped it.
gotta find one. And you know, I had a picture of the four of us at that tournament.
I'll see you.
Where you're wearing it, and I'm wearing it, and Robert Ford's wearing it. But the guy who got the shirts for us was not wearing it.
That counts as.
He got, one of our friends, got a shirt, and he had a certain saying on it. And the saying was, because a week before, we were playing, and I hit a ball that went, I'm supposed to go that way, it went that way. I said, that didn't count. I put another one and hit it. So next week, we got shirts with, that didn't count. That didn't happen, that didn't happen. So we're the that didn't happen golfers. We're all over 70.
I've been hitting shots pretty well straight. What hole was? I hit one, he goes, I heard clunk, hit a house over there.
All right, anything else? I have the tickets before we go. It's important that you take some if you think you can sell them. If you don't think you can sell them, please don't take them. But if you can only sell 2, that's fine. Sell 1, that's fine. If some of us in here buy 10, and if you want to buy 10, you can invite some of your friends to come. It doesn't matter. We'd like to have a good crowd. This is a really good band. It's a local band. I've already told the guy, you know folks, get him here. Get him out there. So I'll keep on his case. And in fact, I'll see him tomorrow night.
Rick, would you send out something to the ones who were not here?
Yeah, you have
them to
their names.
contact me, because they're gonna need to come by the college, and I'll get them to Joe's studio so we can finish this out.
Gotcha. Make sure I get those names before you go. Okay? Thank you.
They're circled.
Gotcha. I'll take care of it. All right.
Of the things we think, say, and do.
Is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill, better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Amen.
Amen.